I have two favorite words to start with T. One is tailgating, and the other is tacos. Now, I'm on Orchard Street in the Lower East Side of Manhattan, which is probably the coolest street in all of New York City, at Mission Cantina, and we're here to talk with Danny Bowen, who serves up some of the sickest tacos, probably in the whole entire world. Let's go do it. So New York City is known for a couple of things, and pastrami is one of them.
I mean, pastrami is one of those things that's like, it's easy. We use a pastrami, we go a step further, we like smoke ours a little bit. We're gonna do something called, we're gonna confit, which is a French term for cooking something slowly in fat. We're gonna put a few pieces of garlic down first, and one bay leaf. I like to crush the bay leaf first to get the essence of it out. And then kind of rest your pastrami on top of these guys, right?
Okay, so you're layering even in your pan. You're layering the garlic, the bay leaf, and then the pastrami.
Yeah, and so pastrami has a fair amount of fat.
Yes.
We're gonna add fat. So this is pork fat. We'll then cover it, and we're going to put it in the oven around 200 degrees for about, this thin cut will probably take about an hour and a half until it's just falling apart.
Okay, so the pastrami's soaking in fat?
Right, it's doing its thing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make the two condiments for the tacos. I mean, tacos are great because they can be as simple as you want. You just need a few accents to like really make them pop. So first we're gonna make some habanero onions. This is something that we use a lot at the restaurant. What we'll do is we'll take a red onion, cut it. This one you wanna cut pretty fairly thin, so we'll cut it as thin as we can. And then we'll take a little bit of this habanero, not too much, but you want some, for this I leave the, all of the seeds and the pith inside because you want heat. You want to get that fruity flavor, but you also want the heat from this. So I cut this up. I mince it up pretty small, and guys, you probably want to wear gloves when you do this. It's gonna help, avoid like setting your face on fire.
That way if your team loses and you're like, oh, you're not like,
right, exactly. So then we'll roll lime.
Roll that lime, make sure you get all those juices out.
For the sake of being fast, we have a bunch of lime juice here. So we're gonna put some lime juice on here. You wanna let this set for about 20 minutes. A fair amount of salt, and just mix this. That's all you gotta do, that's done.
Oh,
after it sets for a while, probably about 30 minutes, you get something like this. What happens is the salt pulls out all of the liquid in the onion and a lot of the color, the pigment. So it makes it really, really bright pink. A tomatillo is basically a small green tomato. We cut them into quarters, and then we put it into a blender. And to this, I'll add a few serrano peppers, and then we'll also do a little bit of habanero. And then we'll add a little bit of sea salt.
That's like a tablespoon.
Well, yeah, it's a chef's little bit. And then we'll add that pico de gallo, that juice. We'll use this here. So what we do with this avocado is we just dice it up. Again, it doesn't have to be super perfect, just cutting it up.
It's perfect though, what you just did was perfection.
And then add this to this, stir it in. I'd like to add a little bit of raw onion now and a little bit of cilantro. So again, building flavors and textures. This also, like the pico, needs to set for about 15 minutes or so. We grind our own masa here from scratch. So we take corn, we cook it, grind it, and then it makes this dough. So he's making our tortillas for
basically while you're watching the game, you just grind it.
No, I would probably just buy tortillas from a tortilla.
Okay, buy tortillas.
So a real tortilla puffs, when they cook it, what happens is there's moisture inside, and it wants to escape, and it's like a pita, it like puffs up. This is the meat. Once it's been cooked in the fat, it's super tender, so it falls apart. You shred it apart with a fork, and just dip it in there to kind of give it a little bit of, obviously flavor, and it kind of like reheat it. And then we just brush it on the griddle. You want to put the salsa down, and I'll put the pastrami? These are toasted rye breadcrumbs.
Oh.
So it's kind of our nod to pastrami.
Lower East Side,
right.
whole deal.
When we're building something, it's all about balance. We don't want to put too much of anything. I mean, I'd rather enjoy like 2 or 3, balanced, smaller tacos than one humongous one.
Tailgating, we want it simple, we want it clean, we want it delicious.
Exactly. So now we'll add some of these habanero onions. And then a little bit more of that tomatillo salsa. You can go with that.
Pleasure. Avocado, lime, cilantro, onion, tomatillo, delicious.
And then I like to put a little bit of raw onion and cilantro.
So not really a dating food, I would say.
I mean, you can have like a milkshake afterwards and then...
Great. This looks great. All
right, so this obviously we like to try to pair things, and we don't take ourselves too seriously. So this thing that looks like a Ninja Turtle is actually our tie-dye slushy.
I saw that.
It's boozy, There's a little bit of cilantro for But man, you gotta do it with this guy. You gotta eat them together.
Okay, so we've got our pastrami taco, a Mission Cantina staple.
Right.
Our tie-dye
Slushy.
slushy.
Yeah, and football, right?
And football.
Yeah, cool.
Cheers to tailgating. I love my life. And you're gonna love making this at home.